Welcome to today's transmission of the Ministry of Assumption, absolute manifestation from a non-dual perspective. My name is Lucian St. James, and my intention is to guide you through the ever-changing principles of self-liberation, or really the ever-changing perspectives of the same universal truths of self-liberation. I thank you for co-creating this moment here with me and talking about the power of fear and how that interferes with how fear interferes with our manifestation process. And I've been watching a lot of Patrick Swayze lately. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I get on like random little kicks of things. I've been watching a lot of Patrick Swayze. So his latest work that I was diving into is a TV miniseries that aired in the mid 80s called North and South, which has to do with the kind of a fictional biopic of certain interpersonal events of two lead characters that are leading up to the war itself. And then I think there's a season 2 that is actually the war. Is very interesting, very well written. Well, there's one scene where Patrick Swayze is guiding his young cousin through a duel. And a duel is like where you take 10 steps, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, kind of like the Old West. Then you turn around and you shoot the other person. And he tells his cousin, at this point in time, this is like later in the season, he tells his cousin, after all of his war experience, he's like, fear will make you hasty, and haste will put you in the grave. And I was like, oh my gosh, how many of us are walking around as corpses, already dead to the power that we have as the infinite, as the divine, or as individualized expressions of the all that is, because we're living in an emotional state, an emotional place of lack, fear, vibration, poverty, scarcity. Because what's going on with a lot, like if you're not seeing your manifestation, what's happening there is that you probably are trying and intending and scripting and doing tips and tricks and all of the stuff that actually is effective. All of it works. Like, I don't think that there's any of it that doesn't work, so long as it guides you to the awareness that it's already here and that you're already everything. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I love robotic affirmations because I like sound. I'm a frequency type of person. I was a DJ. I worked radio, so like sound is very impactful for me. But it's not the sound, like it's not like listen to this subliminal and then like the subliminal does the creating for you. Like the other stuff, the stuff outside of you is not the stuff that's doing the creating for you, but it can guide you to a denser state of awareness of already being that which the subliminal is saying. If the subliminal is, you'll be rich or loved or whatever it is guiding you to a greater state of awareness of the fact that that's already here. And the more concentrated energy you have on the present moment in possessing all that you wish to desire, that is when you'll start to see that reflected, because you'll only get, I'm always saying, you'll only get what you already have. No one needs to teach you to manifest. That is a ministry mantra. If you get nothing else out of anything I ever have to say, nobody needs to teach you to manifest. Every moment is a manifestation. You are a manifestation, again, of the all that is, of the infinite, of the divine. But most of us are trying to manifest from a place of fear. Like secretly we believe, a lot of us, you've been trying to like kind of like manifest our way out of a situation. It's like, okay, I don't feel abundant, so I'm trying to manifest abundance. And it's very insidious, right? Like it's subtle. We don't realize this is why you have to spend time with yourself, and you have to have serious periods of, I call it hibernation. I will go into hibernation. I will not see anybody. I will not do anything. I will not talk to anyone. I will tell my friends no. Like, I will just shut everything out for periods of time, because I think that's solitude, to come home to yourself. Because I mean, like, you are the creator of your reality. If your life is filled with noise, and I even mean music, I love music, but if your life is filled with noise, with people, with circumstances, with just all this other stuff that it really has nothing to do with you. I mean, you might be seeing it reflected outside of your external environment, but and then you get wrapped up and entangled with it. If you don't have a space to or time, 10 minutes a day to come back home to the silence and the space of yourself, of your imagination, to be with the God, with the creator within, you are just going to, Pete Sapper said it this way one day, and I loved it. It's something I've always kept. He's like, you are going to get ragdolled by reality. You are just going to just be tossed all about and around. But talking about fear, fear will make you hasty, and haste will put you in the grave. How many of us are just walking around secretly hoping that reality is going to prove to us something that we don't already believe? that we're not already certain of. Or, I see this every day. The client gets into a relationship, right? And they're hoping that this relationship is going to be the one that proves to them, well, not all women, men, or they, them individuals are bad, but it's, if you're already certain of that, I mean, you are only seeing, and this is so powerful. I mean, it's so simple and it's so powerful that you're only seeing more of yourself. So we're so wrapped in this 3D matrix reality, and we're taught the law of cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. We're taught that the effect is the cause, and that we have no power over our experience of the effect. If something's shitty, you have to feel like shit, and you have to just, essentially keep co-signing a version of reality that tells you this is all that you're going to get. Or, we're taught very early in school, at least in the West, that you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. We're taught these little mantras, these little euphemisms that teach us to be satisfied with reality, while at the same time, in that dissatisfaction, feeling totally out of control of how we experience the things happening around us. So we're taught that the external, that the material, that everything happening around us, that is the source, that is God. Oh, well, and when I say God, what I mean is that that's the creation space. When I say that you are the God of your reality, what I mean is that you are the energetic point of origin. I mean, everything comes out of you as a state of your attention and what you agree to be true in your reality on a consistent basis. And when I say consistent, I'm not really even talking about time. I mean, as a state of understanding that does not waver, that is not subject to negotiation. So most of us are living that hastiness. Like, we think, okay, because I feel one way, I have to manifest a partner or a new job, or I have to manifest this like new thing, because this new thing is going to be my Messiah. And what I mean by that is, like, this new thing is going to save me. But if you're still in a state of self that believes that you need to be saved, that new thing, should it actually materialize in your life, which is hard to materialize things that you desire from that state, but assuming that you do, it's really going to, it's just going to give you more reasons as to why you think that you're trapped, or you need to be saved, or that things aren't going your way. If you just believe that things aren't going your way, it doesn't really matter what's happening in your reality. And this is powerful. You're only seeing more of yourself. So there's nothing to do, strive, or get. I mean, like, as gods of our reality, we absolutely, I think, desire is directional. Whatever you desire to experience, you should absolutely have that. That is your birthright. But the money, the relationships, the jobs, the cars, the wardrobe, whatever it might be that you think that you want, that is not going to save you. That is not the greener grass. You are the greener grass. In fact, you decide what shade of grass you get to walk on, simply by what you are assigning to your reality as absolute truth. And it really can be as easy as making the decision. One of the ministry ideologies that is central to my self-understanding in terms of how I live is that the afterlife is here now. That everything you want is here now. And what I mean by afterlife, I mean, I got snakes in my blood. I'm a snake. And what I mean by that is I'm of the archetypal imagery, of the archetypal lineage of the idea of a snake. So death and rebirth is, I mean, I think we're dying all the time. I think, again, every new moment, every new day is an opportunity to unbecome a previous state of self, which I do view as a kind of death. So, but I do have, very intense rebirth experiences, or periods of rebirth, somewhat frequently. I talk about identity alchemy being something that is just ever present in my life, and I think we all have the potential to live that way, but because we're identified with the 3D, we're identified with the type of illusory permanence that leads us to believe that things are the way they are, and they're always going to be that way, and we're just at the effect, and that we're just subject to those things. And if we don't like those things, then we're just doomed to continue struggling. But I think that the death is something that is happening all the time. And I recently, these last few weeks with the New Year ending and everything, I just came to an even greater realization that the afterlife is here now, is what I'm always talking about. There's nothing you need to do or get. You're seeing all of it. You're just seeing your vision of it. You're seeing your lens of it right now. You've got these lenses that you've put on, and that's coloring your reality, but you have the ability to choose that lens. And in choosing that lens, you are exercising your creative power as an individualized expression of the all that is, God, the energetic source of origin of yourself. So through this process lately, this death process, and I mean just continuing to expand my self-understanding of being love, of being freedom, yet continuing to disidentify with the labels and concentrates and contents of an identity. And out of that manifested 2 exes back. I wasn't trying to. I didn't accept those opportunities, but I got apologies and just I won't get into detail, but these messages essentially that there's regret involved of blah blah blah, how things went, how are you, kind of extending that olive branch, and I said no because I'm not about it right now. But what I saw that as was a reflection. These were 2 people that I was devastated when I lost them, right? Like, these were 2 people that when I was in the relationship, I mean, I thought that they were the source of love. Like, if I were to lose them, I would lose everything. And I did lose them. And I was heartbroken and destroyed and dismayed. And just as I've been continuing to expand my love for myself and unbecoming all of the, and I will say I've unbecome all conditions. I think that process stops when you leave this earth, when you leave this plane in this body. But the reason that I pointed that out is because when you're not afraid of, I have to keep these things because, oh gosh, I have to keep these things because if I'm not always clinging to them, then they're going to leave me, and then I'm going to be by myself. That's the state that keeps things away from you. When you allow everything just to happen and be as it is, and know that regardless, I am peace. Regardless, I am the center. Regardless, I am love. Regardless of what's happening out there, fear will create haste, and haste will put you in the grave. I mean, how many of us are just, I'm all over the place. I'm just ranting today. Are always in a rush to get somewhere. Why are you in a rush? Where are you in a rush to go? I mean, I get it. Like, I get, I got to pick my kids up from school, or this, and I woke up late, but how many of us, I'm saying, are living in that state of haste, like always feeling like, like we're behind the ball, like we're at the effect of all of these things, and we're always racing and trying and striving to catch up. Fear will create haste. So there's nothing to do. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing to do. I manifested 2 exes back that I would have been devastated, that I was devastated to lose. And I'm in a state now where I don't even want anything to do with those people. I was polite, I was just I don't want anything to do with them. Because it's just what's there to be afraid of? Everything that we try to hold on to these things because we think that, if I lose them, then what? It's going to mean something about me. And then we have a label, and then that label informs what we're certain of. And then what we're certain of then reflects in what we see. And then we fall apart because we're experiencing all of these effects that are undesirable. And that loop continues. So fear will create haste, and haste will put you in the grave. So there's no rush. There's no rush. There's nothing to do. You're all of it. It's a matter of tuning your attention and living it now and deciding that you are it. If you want money, decide that you are security. It's not about the money. Decide that you are safe. Decide that you are secure. And then what would you do? How would you feel? How would you act if you knew that you were secure, if you knew that you were taken care of? You probably wouldn't be checking your bank account every single second. If you knew that you were loved, you probably wouldn't, keep refreshing your ex's story on Snapchat and seeing if their score has gone up. You wouldn't be doing that because you would be in a state where you know that you're loved regardless. You're all of it. You are God of your reality. So there's anything that it might appear that you are deprived of is an illusion. It's not the truth. The only thing that makes it so is your agreement to that version of reality. But you can agree to any version of reality because it's all happening now. It's all happening now. Fear will create haste, and haste will put you in the grave. There's no rush. If you're rushing to get something, what you're saying is, I don't have it now, and I'm struggling to get it. which means you're just going to create more struggle and more distance because that's what you're in harmony with. So there's nothing to be hasty about. It's all here. Why would you try? I don't need to. Oh, I can't wait to get this keyboard. I can't wait to have it in my hands. Why isn't it here? And that's how we treat manifestation. We have everything now, and we think that there's something we need to go do to get it. You make the decision that it's here, and you live in the peace of that, and it will appear, but it appearing is not even really the case, because you've already decided it's here now. So, with that, signing off of today's transmission of the Ministry of Assumption Absolute. Again, I thank you so much for co-creating this moment with me. Check out the dispatches from the Edge of Obvious podcast. We did a real deep breakdown on erotic vitality, and episode 4 of that will be on its way likely this week, and the Liberation Chronicle, which is the written word of this platform, is available to you. Both of those for free, dropped in the show notes below. Remember to be good to yourselves and others, because everybody's just a version of you anyway. Until next time.